All right, so for those of you guys who did this with us last time, you'll kind of remember the analogy I had here. But for those of you that haven't seen this yet, this is going to be a little bit of a shocker, right? So what I want you to picture is that this bucket right here is kind of what our life is already. That water in there is like the stress in our life, and it's pretty much full to the top. I would say most people's capacities are pretty well up there. And we just kind of add in like the little bullshit from day to day, like the dog kept waking us up all night, or the kids weren't feeling well, and like the water starts to pour out, right? Never mind the bigger stuff that actually exists in our life, right? We want to add in like a whole new program of like making sure we sleep enough and take care of ourselves, or we want to make sure that we're doing a good job at work, right? And got a good boss, or doing all of that. And then, well, not to mention like the big one there with the significant other. Heaven forbid we put that one in there yet. But then you come here and you say, oh, I want to start working out more, right? There we go. We got our new workouts. Maybe a new nutrition program, right? And just as you saw, the water starts to splash and spill over everything. But here's what's so cool about this, and why we'll discuss the need and the importance of doing challenges consistently and being accountable to that stuff. Our ability to manage stress is not static. It's not just this bucket here, right? Our buckets can grow the more that we improve and the better and better that we get. In fact, like the nerdy word for it in the training world is called progressive overload. So when we get exposed to a certain stimulus enough times and consistently and long enough and prolonged period of time, our ability to manage that improves. And so now what was a 5-gallon bucket full of water, now we've got, a third extra space in here to take and throw in the kids' stuff and that significant other and our nutrition and our boss and then injuries, and the in-laws, the to-do list, and then those finances as well, right? Like all those different stresses that come into play with this. We can improve and better manage that stuff if we have the right tools, if we have the right, again, progressive overload, and giving our bodies, and not just our bodies, but our brains, our emotions, our physical nature, right? Our being, the opportunity to improve and adapt to those changes with it as well, too. So for those of you guys participating in the challenge, I'm super excited for you and very happy that you're doing this as well. When it looks like, and when we look at the challenges, right, we talk about a few things with this. Now, if I can get my slideshow to change, that'd be super awesome. Give me 1 second here. Well, we're going to use the laptop. So today what we're going to cover, you'll have this slide deck in your guys' notes as well too, but today we're going to discuss the science and psychology of the challenges and how we create a lifestyle of health and fitness around what we're going to talk about here, what you should expect from sunrise to sunset, like what your daily routine is going to be. And then as well too, like what's going to happen kind of day to day, week to week, as well as a few other things we're going to throw in there so that you guys are constantly working on improving so you can manage that capacity better and better. So for those of you who aren't familiar with it, right, challenges started off, forever ago. And there's a period of time where they really got a black eye. Whether it was like multi-level marketing companies or this gentleman here, Alex Hormozi, it just kind of put a sour taste in people's mouths because what happened was like the prices were just being driven way up there in order for gyms to sell memberships. And then on top of it too, the service was going down inside of it. Or like what's worse off is some of these challenges were just really ways to like peddle more and more supplements and then get you stuck on it. And that's the only way you knew how to lose weight or keep yourself fit and healthy with it too. So for us, we had taken a break from running challenges for a couple of year period of time. And in that time, we had made a commitment to ourselves, like if we're going to run challenges, we're going to do it right. And we're going to continually get better at it so that we can help you guys get results, again, without it being stuck on supplements or making it so that the only way you ever see success is by having to be in this group of accountability. And as soon as you fall outside of it, all the results fall off apart too. So we were continually working on improving this. And the reason we talk then about like, hey, we want to run and have you participate in maybe, 3-4 challenges a year. That's what we're going to run. You don't got to participate in all of them, but it comes down to the science of it, right? On your left-hand side, hopefully as you're viewing this here, this side of the board here, this is the idea. If we can string together the next 6 weeks of behaving ourselves, Generally speaking, you're going to do another 2 to 3 on your own pretty well. And out of a quarter, I mean, I know I went to public school here, but that's 9 out of 13 weeks every quarter that you're doing really well. More than likely, you're not going to totally fall off the wagon immediately after that either, right? So we multiply that by 4 times throughout the year, 3 times throughout the year. And what's great is that you're going to spend over 2/3 of a year behaving in terms of like your eating habits, following a lifestyle that's going to help you live a long, fit, and healthy athletic life. Whereas like if we're only doing this every now and then, maybe only 1/3 of the year is that good. Maybe only a half of the year we're actually on track. The other half of the year, we tend to just be doing whatever we're going to do as we kind of go through this whole thing. And that's why I'm going to encourage you to always look to these challenges as an opportunity to increase your capacity to work on this and improve as time goes on. What you work on this time around will not be what you work on the next time around. And that's what I want you to keep in mind. Because from there, right, there's certain principles that we want to live by and work through with this whole challenge as well, too. The first being that it's simple and effective, right, that you can continue to build on this and it's not a total interruption to your entire life. Second is like longevity, vitality, and health. You got to have that, right? And if we put performance ahead of that, then we would probably start talking about like testosterone replacement therapy, hormone therapy, different like substances that are not necessarily in your best interest, right? So that's why longevity comes before performance. But we're going to immediately follow that with performance because I don't know about you, it's not enough for me to live to 100 years old. Like I want to experience life while I'm doing that as well too. Another thing we took into consideration, this is one of my beefs with like a diet like the carnivore diet, is how hard do you fall off the wagon? When we think about these challenges and every other one of these meal programs that exists out there, we want to watch out for the slippery slope. So that's why when we discuss the habits and everything else that we're going to discuss today, I want you to notice how these are things that are going to, if you strictly just follow the habits, 90% of the time it's going to keep you on track for a healthy, fit, and long life, right? Athletic life. If you're doing, even 80% of that and being mindful about your portion sizes, you're going to really excel with it too. But there's other programs out there that you'll see things like if it fits your macros where it's like you can have pizza, but you got to make sure you journal it. Well, I don't know about you, but I can eat like 4 slices of pizza and not think about the 1,600 calories that was, not to mention the other 2,000 calories that I may have already eaten throughout the day that day. So again, this is why we build this out the way that we do. We're going to talk about, obviously in quite detail actually now, the blood sugar numbers and like the highs and lows, and then just the ability to live overall life with it. So what we're going to discuss is the nuts and bolts and the framework of the challenge itself. I'm going to cut the video and then I'm going to go in and discuss the 2 other pieces that we're adding to this one that you have the option to participate in as well too. Now here's my big disclaimer, right? Just like our bucket of water right here. Your pail may only be that big. Your pail may be a 1-gallon pail. It may be, like a kid's sandbox pail for what we're going to attack and what we have the capacity to attack right now. It may just be drinking enough water every day and eating vegetables with your meals and gratitude journaling. Maybe those are just the basic daily things we're working on. For some of you guys, this may mean like we're trying to get our entire week to look the way that it should, or we're trying to string together 6 weeks of it. And for others, you guys who have done this for a while now, maybe you're also wearing that constant glucose monitor too. But again, take this for the next step that you're at, and let's work on that and level up on that stage of this challenge. So here we go, guys, diving into